So we were the first to create IDX. Back in 1998, we were the first company to really do it. We were selected by North Star MLS up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we've been kind of changing things ever since. We noticed early on that people had really just continued to use the technology that we innovated back in 98, and it really hasn't changed much since 98. So now we're the first to really reimagine how it works. We've recreated the wheel completely. The new product itself is called Vision, and it's a suite of tools that really feed back intelligence, and I'm going to walk you through the entire product here. So the first place I want to walk through is Discover. This is our new IDX product. This can fit into anybody's website. Obviously, we do websites as well, so we can talk about that a little bit if you'd like to, but just to get you started here, Discover is a complete reimagine of the IDX once again. So what you're looking at here, this is the gallery view. In this gallery view, you're going to notice a bunch of different subtle elements that create a more social approach, a more unified way to search, a quicker, more efficient way. So drilling into it, on your left-hand side over here, you've got the IDX. Inside of this, or the actual search mechanism, inside of this, what's really cool about it is up here in location, this actually opens up. These are little drawers. So when you click location, that opens up, and you type in, for instance, Austin, Texas. Inside of Austin, once you type that in, these gallery items on the right are going to automatically reconfigure in a very visual way. So they're going to they're going to jumble up together, and you're going to start to see this actually happening. So it's an evolving search. You're actually watching what your search criteria is doing to that area. Then you slow down, or then you go down and hit price. You open up the price modal, and inside of there you put in $250,000. Once again, now the listings on the right-hand side are going to reconfigure, and you're going to start to see both price, location reflected inside of your search. Each one of these, every tiny little change, when you slide 5 bedrooms down to 4 bedrooms, it's going to reconfigure. You're going to start to see it actually happening. What's really cool about that is there's no search button. The search is just a natural flow for the user. As they go through, they understand that if they just tweak one little number, that they're going to get the results. So they both see it happening. It's fun to do, and it almost feels like a competition to try and get the best search return to do that. So it's no longer become back in the day when we started IDX, where you would go to a form, fill out the form, hit search, go to your search results, and then when you wanted to do it again, because you have to change that to 5 bedrooms, you have to go back to the search form, fill it out, to come back to your results. It's not fluid. This is a completely fluid system. The next piece that you'll see is you're starting to see inside of all of these boxes, you see ask a question about this listing. What we really wanted to do is we wanted to incorporate social elements inside of our search, and this has done that. What it does is, after seeing this so many times, you start to really see that you can ask a question that this is a social search, and that might seem like a silly, novel idea, and of course we want your people to do that. However, when they see hundreds of listings over time, it just becomes a natural piece to just quickly ask a question. This is a very simple way for somebody to communicate with you about that. This load more listings, this is a really interesting piece. We got rid of paging altogether. The reason that we got rid of pages is, when's the last time you made it to the 8th page on Google? You don't. What the natural way that people search now is that they don't really realize that the best search result inside of an MLS, inside of an IDX, is not what's going to show up first. These are just criteria. There could be 1,000 listings, and your search could be as exact as it can get. What this does is, by clicking that, it's just going to continue to load more listings. You're going to scroll down, and more listings are going to scroll. There's no pages. It just continues to go. So you could go and scroll down and see 1,000 listings before you ever saw the end of the page, once you hit that load listings. And it's done very naturally, but that allows the user to see more listings, be more interactive without having to click through the pages, and really they will actually get to listings that are at the bottom, because that listing that's at the bottom on that 8th page might be their best listing. So, of course, there is another way. This gallery, as you can tell, there's very few details in here. We're truncating the price. We're only showing the city. We're not showing an address. Now, this is a visual search. This is what people would see if they're very visual people, and the most important thing to them is pictures. There's a whole different way to see that. So you click list up there in the right-hand corner, and then you start to see this. I'm really excited about this list. It's so completely different. Inside of here, you're getting the same search on the left-hand side, and you've got a bigger picture in here. You've got some pretty noticeable flags up in the corner, more details, and then this map. This is the only property search that I've seen in the entire world that includes a map inside of the listing details. These are things that people want to see. People want to see that location. Opening up, inside of this, you'll see there's this view details thing on the bottom. That's actually a drawer, so that opens up just like a drawer would. And scrolling down, you're actually seeing inside of here all of the property details. So now you've got this search with more details than ever before inside of here. You can pull that down, and inside of it what you see is everything that you would see inside of a details page. So now your user has the fastest, most efficient search that they can actually use. It's interactive. It's very social in the aspect that they can communicate with you quickly and easily. They can share on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest. They can see all the details. Now, of course, we want them to click into the details. It's the natural thing to do. When you want to know more, even if everything is displayed here, wanting to know more is natural. So that brings you to the details page. This is where everything starts to get really exciting for you. Inside of this details page, we've completely rethought of it. Walk around this convention hall and you'll find other IDX vendors. We're not the only person that does this. What we are the only person that's doing is completely personalizing this experience for users. We're also one of the only companies that has a details page that isn't simply just an Excel spreadsheet put onto a website. This is a highly stylized design, but yet still simple enough to be able to fit into anybody's website and look good. So inside of here, that personalization I was talking about, up here on the left side in this blue box, we have this and it's called the Quick View. This Quick View is actually on every single details page. It's going to display the same. So you'll see the little X's on the left-hand side. Up there, when I performed this property search, I searched for residential properties that were 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Those are things that I knew that I was searching for. So obviously all of the results are going to have that. And I know that's what I wanted. So to me, in this Quick View, those pieces don't matter. What's missing up here for me is school district is really important. I'd like to know what school district is, and I don't want to have to scroll down. I can hit the Add to Quick View, add the school district in there as a field that shows up there, and now in every single details page that I view on this site from now until the end of time is always going to show school district instead of bedrooms, bathrooms, and property type. And that goes the same for down below. But up here, this is a slideshow. So this slideshow is just going to start playing. It's more interactive. You're not having to click through if you don't want to. Obviously, you can hover over these. A thumbnail will pop up. You can click on it and skip ahead. You can skip back and forth through there. It's very cool. So scrolling down here, inside of these details, now imagine that school district isn't important to me because I don't have any children. I can hit the little button right here, and by hitting that button, it will pull it up, and school district is no longer there. I can hit the button again if I want to see it, but throughout the entire existence of my experience on this, I won't see school district unless I want to. So that's the new IDX. It's very cool. The second part is we are starting by understanding and saying we wanted to personalize the insides. We figured, why not personalize the whole website? Why not personalize the entire user experience? That's where identity comes in. Identity here, this is what your users will see the second time that they come to your website. Whether they register or not, we're going to recognize who they are based on their computer. And clicking in, so what you'll see here is they'll come back, and if they have registered, they'll come back to a message that says, welcome back, John, or whatever their name is. View your saved listings, searches, recently viewed listings, recommendations, and more. What they're seeing here is completely unique to them. It's unique to every single user. If we don't know who they are, it's just going to say welcome back. But it's still going to show them the listing that they viewed most. By clicking that Start Exploring, this is a really cool interactive feature. So this map actually expands down, and you'll start to see inside of it these little flags, just like you would in a map search. And these little flags are actually every listing that they've viewed, every listing that they've saved, and every listing that you, as the realtor, have recommended to them that they would like based on what they're already searching. So it's a very quick way for them to get back into the system and just understand what's there. Scrolling down, you've got a message window. So now we've taken communications and put them all in a single place. All of the communications that you have with this person are available here inside of this message window. They can send you a message, you can send them a message, and they'll see them in this place. The viewed listings, this is just going to show you all of the listings that they viewed. This is another place for them to view those listings. This is another place for them to start to get more interactive and understand where those pieces are. They can do the management pieces, so manage communication preferences, change their email address, manage saved searches and saved listings. Then there'll be some contact information for you. And below, you'll see these recommended listings. These recommended listings are basically you saying this is a property that I think you'd like You send them a message, so you'll see underneath where it says Jane Agent, that's actually your message to them. You can type whatever you want, add an MLS number or an address, and this is what's going to pop up for them. It's also going to pop up in that map. On the right-hand side, the final piece here is the Market Watch. I'm really excited about this Market Watch. I think this is the most compelling information for a home buyer. They want to know what's happening in that area and when it's happening. And what this does is every single place that they search, if this person searches in Austin, in San Antonio, in Houston, in Corpus Christi, all these places, what they're actually going to see is in this drop-down are those city names, and by selecting them, the Market Watch is going to change for that area. So obviously the numbers are different depending on where you go. It's a very up-to-date, every single day, information is going to be up-to-date for them, and they'll be able to see what's happening. You have now, by using this system, have recommended listings that you know they'll like based on what they're doing. You've given them the most compelling information that they are looking for. You've given them a consolidated communication window to ensure that they never lose an email from you, that they never miss communication because there's only one place to find it. You've also given them access to everything that they've already viewed and personalized the entire experience. Why would a person go to a different real estate website? If you're offering all of the search tools and you're offering all of the listings plus a personalized communication, that user is not going anywhere. They're going to convert to a lead, and they will be one of your clients. So that's really the IDX. Now, the other piece is inside of the website, we actually have this section called Voice, and this is a real-time chat. So what this does is it's the same sort of idea as the user profile. On every single page, this is going to show up on each one of your pages. You've got a message inbox, so that same message window you have in there is going to be persistent throughout your entire website. So if you're online, if you're logged into the system, you can actually proactively send a message to this person and say, hey, I see you're looking at this listing. Last week I showed this listing, and I think you'd really enjoy it. On this quick search over here, or this little search icon, that's a quick search sheet. So another window similar to the messages pops up, and you can search. No matter what page they are on your website, whether we host it or don't, we're giving you a quick search widget basically built in. You've got compare functionality and some account information inside of there as well. So that is Voice. Going in, now you ask yourself, how does this display to you? This is a very cool search, but what does it do for you? This is what it does. It starts with Visual Stream. Visual Stream is really exciting. So we went through, and once again, using the same idea of social media, it's the most used software out there, the most used system in the world is Facebook. 800 million users use it every day. When we went to recreate the wheel, we thought, what's a system that we can use, that we can build, that functions in a way that people already know how to use, it's going to be user-friendly, or if they don't know how to use it, that we can benefit them. So here comes the Visual Stream. Inside of this Visual Stream, you're going to notice if you're a Facebook user, even if you're not, you probably understand what it looks like. This works the same way. So here you've got these different newsfeed topics inside of this Visual Stream, and they're popping up as things are happening on your website. So clicking in, what you're seeing here is John Anderson here, viewed 12 listings in Plymouth, Maple Grove, Wayzata. This is somebody on your website viewing listings, and it's going to report to you in real time while they're on your site what they're actually doing. It's showing every single action that a person will have. You've got Sandy Smith here, asked a question about 1432 Oakwood Path in Minneapolis. You can communicate with her in real time as she's asking questions. You can actually be logged in and pop a chat to her if you want to and say, hey, Sandy, this is how it works. You would just simply click over here, find Sandy, click it, and start typing a question. She would get that inside of Voice, inside of that chat box. There's a lot of different things. So you can see save new search criteria, perform new search. Now what's interesting is when I told you about the user profile identity, I told you that you can have both people that have registered and not registered. The people that haven't registered, they're also going to show up in here. You're going to start to see anonymous people go in there. And what we really tried to do is we tried to say, search, we have the ability to understand what people are doing. We have the ability to report to you what it's doing. We have the ability to do it in a very visual, easy to understand way. What we wanted to do is to make real estate more personal, and we did that with the IDX. But we really wanted to make it more about communication. If you have 1,000 people visit your website, you are lucky. Your site is performing really well if you can get 8 out of those 1,000 people to convert to a lead. Real estate websites are extremely difficult to actually perform, no matter where you are, unless you're paying for leads from a giant company like Market Leader, where you're paying $20 per lead. That's different. You're actually buying those leads. This, on a normal real estate website, getting those people to convert is low.
But what we're doing is giving you anonymous actions by these people that haven't registered, allowing you to communicate in a very personal way to all 1,000. Every single person now becomes a lead. We're tracking what they're doing, we're tracking what they're watching. You have the ability to communicate on any one of these actions, whether they performed a new search, they saved a new search, whether they looked at a new listing, whether they did anything on your website, you have the ability to start communicating with them. This is going back to real estate in the old days when people would pick up the phone, they would call you, and they would say, I'm looking for a 3-bedroom house in Minneapolis, blah, blah, blah. You have that. This is them calling you. Act on it. And we're giving you that ability. And so now you wonder, what do I see? So I click into John Anderson, and what I'm able to see is this lead focus. Lead focus is another really cool part. Lead focus in itself is, once again, just like Facebook, you've got a timeline approach to their home experience, their home search experience. So you're seeing every single interaction happen on a timeline of what has happened. So I can look at John Anderson and get a full picture of what he wanted, of what he's actually searching for. You'll find that people, through this, looking at this, you'll find that people are actually, the way that they search, we've been doing it a long time and our understanding is good, that people search for homes between 250,000 to 350,000, but they only ever click on homes that are 250,000 to 280,000. They've got this wide grasp on these properties. And you can go and you can see that information from a lot of different property searches, but what you don't actually understand is what they are looking at, what they're actually looking at. You don't understand, and it doesn't tell you easily, this is the profile of that user. This system does that. You get an understanding immediately what these people are clicking on and what they actually like, when they might not even have figured that out yet. And so you just see these different things happen inside of here. This is Save 3 Listings. You click through and you'd see the different listings and the pictures for them. You can click on the listing and it would give you the details page. You can see the search criteria that they saved, how many properties were in it. And on every single one of them, you'll see that they are interactive. You can send a message, you can reply to them and say, hey, that's a great search, you know, blah, blah, blah. Talk about the search, talk about those listings, talk about any of those pieces. This next piece over here, you'll notice the Vision logo and recommendations. What this is doing is, like I just told you, we've got the ability to understand what they're doing better than they might even understand. Our system is smart enough to understand that. And it's going to recommend to you, the agent or broker, that this listing fits everything that they're looking at, everything that they've searched. This is a listing that we believe that they would like. We might be wrong. However, we're giving that information to you, and you have the ability to go and say, accept, yes, this is a great listing for this person. And once you accept it, it's going to brand that recommendation to you. It's going to get sent to their email, it's going to get sent to their user profile, and you start to look like a rock star because you are able to give them recommendations. These happen every day for active users, people that are using the site. Every day you could have a different recommendation. These pieces are just going to continue to show up. You've got different comments inside of here, so you're able to see when they're commenting back and forth. All of those pieces, you're able to really get on a lead, get an understanding of a lead very well. The last piece that I want to talk about is Lead Manager. And Lead Manager here is just a bulk way of editing leads. You can click in here and you'll be able to see all of your leads, but there's also some intelligence that's baked in here. So you're seeing how many searches have been performed in the last 30 days. What's the lead volume? The search trends. What's the average price, the average search number? What's the most popular city on my site? What's the lead volume this year? All of these intelligence pieces, this is giving you information to make your website better. This is saying that this is the most popular city, and this is where you should start pushing your SEO content. This is where you should start writing blog articles. This is how you're driving your traffic. This is what people are actually searching for. And below that, you're seeing just in a grid or Excel spreadsheet style view, you're able to just see your leads. So you're also seeing ratings. Those ratings are based on the interactions that they've had. You're seeing how many visits they've had, when the last time they visited, how many listings they've looked at, how many searches they've performed, what's the average price of this person, what they're actually searching for, and then how many suggested actions there. So how many recommendations, or we will also be making suggestions to you that you should contact this person, that sort of thing. So all of those things are inside of this manager. You can also see them on a per lead view, but a lot of people like to edit this way. Basically, that was a lot of information really quick, but that's Vision. So just the key points, we're personalizing the IDX experience for every user. We are completely reimagining the way that search works and making it more fluid, more social, and easier to use, all together. And then on top of it, we're giving you intelligence and making you have the ability to turn what is now in your life 8 leads into 1,000. That is Vision. It's a complete reimagination the way that property search works. Questions?